Good morning. Are you excited to hear about nutrition today? I know I'm excited to be here talking to you and to share all this fun stuff about food and how it can help maintain the health of your eyes, help prevent your eye disease from getting worse. It was Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, who in 440 BC said, "Let food be thy medicine." And this is important because we know that we need food to live. Food nourishes our body so that we thrive. But did you know that food also helps us see? Because our eyes actually use nutrients to function. If we feed our eyes and our bodies with the proper foods, our eyes will work their best, and ultimately, this can lead to prevention. So today, I'm going to share with you the 3 most important eye foods, and then we're going to do a demo. You may have to bear with us in getting set up, but I'm going to demonstrate how to make an awesome iFood smoothie, and they're going to be passed around to everybody, so you'll all be able to taste one of these during the talk. Okay? So, let's get started. Does anyone know what this is? Kale, good. Okay, before we start talking about kale, who can tell me some foods that are good for your eyes? Carrots, what else? Peppers, spinach, broccoli, blueberries. You guys know this stuff already. You're great. There are a lot of eye foods. There are actually 64 eye foods in total. To make it simpler, we've created 12 categories. Now, of all the 12 categories, the most important eye foods are leafy green vegetables. So raise your hand if you like leafy green vegetables. Awesome. Now, the iFoods plan recommends eating 1 cup or handful of raw leafy green vegetables per day, and half a cup cooked twice per week. And it's not that difficult to eat leafy greens every day. What I do in my house is I buy a big box of pre-washed lettuce. Here's some here. It has spinach, baby kale, bok choy. You can get so many different varieties. And I put 1 handful in a bowl for however many people are eating the salad. And then I add other great eye foods like peas or orange peppers. Add a little bit of olive oil and vinegar and salt and pepper. Now, why did I add the olive oil? Well, it's very important to enjoy your leafy greens with some healthy fat because our bodies actually need the fat to absorb the lutein. So if you want to have the health benefits from eating spinach and kale, you need to add some olive oil or nuts or healthy fat to what you're eating. Now, what are some other leafy green vegetables that you know of? Swiss chard, good. What else? Beet chops, cabbage, awesome. How about iceberg lettuce? Do you think iceberg lettuce is? No, that's right. Iceberg lettuce isn't bad for us, but it's mostly water. It doesn't have that much lutein in it. Now, the reason leafy greens are so important is that they contain all of the nutrients, except for omega-3s. They contain all of the nutrients important for eye function, the most important ones. And one of the most important nutrients that they are very high in, especially, is lutein. Raise your hand if you've heard of lutein. Raise your hand if you're taking an eye vitamin with lutein in it. Good. And one thing I want to say right now is these eye foods do not replace your eye vitamin, but the eye vitamin doesn't replace the foods either. Okay, you need both. And it's the synergy of the nutrients in the food that really help with long-term prevention. Now, why is lutein so important? Well, lutein is actually in the eye. It's in the lens and it's in the macula. And what does it do? Well, it does two main things. One, it acts as an antioxidant, and two, it absorbs blue light. And that's important because blue light can cause damage to the photoreceptors, and blue light, exposure to blue light, is a risk factor for macular degeneration. Now, our bodies don't make lutein. We don't make it. We have to get it from our diets. And the average North American only gets between 1 and 3 milligrams a day of lutein. And we need at least 6 milligrams a day to maintain our eye health. So leafy green vegetables are a great way to get lutein. Now, the reason I have such a big bunch of kale is the #1 eye food. And this is because it contains so much lutein. In just one leaf of kale, there's 10 milligrams of lutein. That's as much lutein that you get when you take your daily dose of your AREDS vitamins. Okay, one leaf of kale, 10 milligrams of lutein. That's amazing. So raise your hand if you like kale. Has anybody tried their smoothie yet? Good. There's kale in there, so you're going to get a nice dose of lutein today. Now, the second food I'm going to talk about is orange peppers. Can anybody in the back see this orange pepper here? Okay. So orange peppers are a very popular eye food, and we were quite surprised, actually, when we did the research for the Eyefoods plan. And orange peppers are an important eye food because they contain zeaxanthin. And raise your hand if you've heard of zeaxanthin. Good. So zeaxanthin is the cousin to lutein. It's located in the macula and the retina as well, but it's actually right in the center, right in the bullseye of the macula. And it's very hard to find zeaxanthin in food, but one orange pepper has 6 milligrams of zeaxanthin. There's only 2 milligrams in your eye vitamins. So these are a very powerful food source for our eyes. The Eyefoods, sorry, yes? Okay, so awesome question. The question was, does it matter whether it's cooked or raw? And I was going to say that the Eyefoods plan recommends eating 2 peppers per week, 2 ways, raw and cooked. So to answer that question, I recommend both for 2 reasons. One, when you eat the food raw, you get more benefits from the vitamin C. If you cook a food, the vitamin C is going to break down. Okay, so that's why you want to eat it raw. But you also get benefits from cooking it, because when you eat it cooked, it breaks down the cell walls and your body absorbs the lutein and the zeaxanthin better. So both raw and cooked. So 2 peppers per week, raw and cooked. Now, why is vitamin C so important? Well, vitamin C is located in every single structure of the eye. And it's in such a high concentration in the eye, it's actually 10 to 20 times more concentrated in the eye than it is in the rest of the body. So we need to feed our eyes with vitamin C. And we don't make vitamin C, and we don't store vitamin C. So how do we get vitamin C? We have to get it from our foods. 1 orange pepper has over 2 times the amount of vitamin C than an orange. Now, red peppers and yellow peppers are also very high in vitamin C. So all peppers are good, but this is the order. The highest is orange, followed by yellow, and then red. And then green lastly. So all peppers are a good source of vitamin C, but orange, yellow, red, and green is the order of how high they are. And I like to mix them up a little bit. Okay, so to review, leafy green vegetables, you're to eat 1 cup or handful a day raw, 1/2 cup twice a week cooked. Orange peppers, we're going to eat 2 peppers per week, 2 ways, both raw and cooked. Now, one more food we're going to talk about, and then I'm going to ask for a volunteer, and we'll do a demo for the smoothie demo. The last food, which is very important, is cold water fish. So raise your hand if you like fish. Awesome. Fish is so good for you because it's high in the omega-3 fatty acids, DHA, and EPA. Yes. So the question is about cooked peppers, how long to cook it, how should you cook it, should you boil it? We don't want to overcook our vegetables because the nutrient capacity goes down, the nutrient content goes down. So you could boil it or steam it, maybe stir fry it lightly. Sometimes I grill them, but you still want them to have a bit of a crunch. You don't want to overcook them, okay? Yes. Yes, same with the kale too. So both raw and cooked. Because leafy greens are high in vitamin C also, so if you're eating them raw, you'll get those benefits. Now, when you blend, another aside to that, when you blend your food like we've done with this smoothie, it's going to break down the cell walls too, so you'll absorb the lutein and zeaxanthin even by doing that also. Okay, so fish. Now, fish is so good because it's high in omega-3s. And omega-3s are important because they're actually in the eye. DHA, one of the omega-3s we get from fish, is in the cell membrane of the rods and cones, of the cells in our retina. And it makes vision. It's part of the vision signal. If we don't have omega-3s in our body, the body replaces that omega-3 with another fatty acid, an omega-6, and the vision signal is weaker. So eating fish actually helps us see if we get down to the basics. Now, the Eyefoods plan recommends eating cold water fish, and I'll explain what that is, 4 times per week. That's a lot. So let's do a survey. Raise your hand if you eat fish once a week. Good. Twice a week? 3 times? And 4 times. You know what? And so that's not bad. That's pretty good. And keep in mind, one salmon fillet is actually almost 1.5 servings. So if you're at 3 times a week, you're doing pretty good. Now, the good fish to eat, because they're high in omega-3s and low in contaminants, are, number 1, wild salmon, which you can get frozen, you can get fresh, or you can get canned. Sardines are fantastic. Rainbow trout, mackerel, and light tuna. So eating these 4 times a week are going to be good because you're going to get a lot of omega-3s and not a lot of contaminants. You want to make sure you're not eating fish that's high in mercury, and all those fish are very good for you. So 4 times per week, small is safe. Smaller fish are better. We've got a few more minutes before we do the smoothie. So I'm going to take 2 questions, and then I'll call up somebody to help me make the Eyefoods smoothie. So does anybody have a question? The question is light tuna or white tuna, and the answer is light tuna. The reason is it's lower in contaminants. The white tuna tends to be high in mercury, so you shouldn't really eat it more than twice per month. So the question is herring. Yes, actually herring is a good source of omega-3s too. Yeah. Yes. Okay, one more, and then I'm going to be at the Eyefoods table. You can come and talk to me after, okay? There's a gentleman back there.
I just wondered if omega-3 vitamins are as good as the fish.
Okay, so the question is, are omega-3 vitamins as good as eating fish? And the short answer is, they don't replace fish 100% because all the studies show if you eat fish, you're going to do better than just if you take the omega-3s. And the reason behind that is if you're eating fish, you're not eating red meat or something else that might be higher in some of the bad fats. However, if you don't eat fish, taking an omega-3 is a good idea, okay? I take omega-3s, and what I do is if I don't eat fish that day, I take 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s. But if I eat fish, then I don't take omega-3s. And that's the way that I try to balance it. So if you need omega-3s to get them somehow, it's always better from the food. Okay, now, can I have a volunteer? All you're gonna do is put food in a blender. Okay, great. Okay, now, everybody has on their table a piece of paper like this, okay? This is called Dr. Barb, my partner's. It's her green smoothie recipe. And this Eyefoods smoothie, we've been making this for about 4 years at conferences, in our homes, and it's a great hit, okay? So, if you make this, you're gonna get lutein, you're gonna get vitamin C, and so much else. So let's start. What's your name? Maureen. Okay, Maureen's gonna be so kind to help us out. So Maureen, first thing we're gonna do is put the kiwi in the blender. So we're making 4 batches. We have 8 kiwi already cut up here. Now, kiwi are very high in vitamin C. What do you think is higher in vitamin C, kiwi or citrus fruit? Kiwi. There's 90 milligrams of vitamin C in 1 kiwi and only 50 in an orange. Okay, now this is the kicker. We have 8 cups of leafy greens. I have kale and I have spinach in here, and we're gonna pack it down. This is harder than it looks. I give the people on the Food Network credit. So what's kale particularly high in? Do you remember what nutrient? Lutein. Awesome. How many milligrams of lutein in 1 leaf of kale? Who remembers? 10. You guys are such a great group. I'm so proud. Yes?
Are the different color kales the same?
I don't know. Good question, and that is something I need to find out. All our research was done on the green kale, so, okay? Okay, now we're gonna put in 4 bananas. And the bananas are here more for flavor. They're not bad for you, but they're really not particularly high in any eye nutrient. After the bananas, we're going to be putting in lime juice. And limes and lemons have vitamin C in it. Not a particularly a lot, but enough that it adds that added boost. So I recommend adding it to your water every day. If you're gonna drink water or tea, add some lemon or lime. Okay, now to make this all work, I'm gonna add some water and then we're gonna whiz it together. You can also add ice to your smoothie just to make, give it more of a tropical feel. Okay, I'm gonna blend this now. And voila, 5 minutes, and you fed your eyes with vitamin C, 10 milligrams of lutein, and it's delicious. Now, couple other things, you can make substitutions in the smoothie. It doesn't have to be like this. You can use kale, you can use spinach, any leafy green you want. As far as the kiwi's a great food because it's high in vitamin C, but you can put strawberries, you can put blueberries. The only thing to be aware of if you're gonna mix blueberries or strawberries in with the greens, your smoothie may look brown, but that's okay. That's okay, it's still gonna taste great. I hope everybody enjoyed their smoothie and just our little short talk on some few foods that you can start adding to your diet. Thank you.